This is going to be your weekly chakra energy tarot reading. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies you might be experiencing in your chakras. So in the comments, please let me know your zodiac sign and your word of the day. Now, I never know when I'm going to film this reading, whether it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday of each week. I just go based on when I feel guided. And on Tuesday, February 4th, today, I feel guided. This is significant today because Venus is now in Aries, which is a very intense and spicy energy. You might be feeling that passion in the pants, or as we like to call it, pip on my channel. In addition to that, Jupiter has finally moved direct, which is such a relief. The mutable signs, especially, that's the Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo energy will be affected the most. Now, that doesn't mean just them. Obviously, everybody will feel this to some extent, but our growth, expansion, good luck is actually moving forward now. And we need that, right? So let's take a look at some overall themes and messages for this reading today. And we have here the Emperor. See, we're moving forward. Initiative, authority, leadership. The Emperor is Aries energy. So there you go. We're getting a double message here. I love this. We need to make some moves, right? We're here to play chess, not checkers. We don't make moves just for the sake of making moves. We make moves because we're strategic about them. We're putting ourselves in the right direction and seeing where it takes us, right? All right, let's get another message here. And we have change your tune. Exactly. If you have been trying something over and over and over again and it's just not working, you've got to change your tune. You've got to do something different. Nothing changes if nothing changes, as I always say. So it is important to, again, make power moves. So going back to the Emperor, what I always suggest to people, especially if this is about career, don't make lateral moves. Like if you're looking to change your job, don't go taking the same job at a different location. What is that really going to do for you, right? You're going to be doing the same thing every day, just in a different location. Now, there might be some slight differences of people or vibes or whatever, and maybe that can be beneficial. But as a general rule, we're not here to make lateral moves or even to move backwards. We want moves to be ones that take us in a direction that offers us something. And that means moving forward. So sometimes it means changing your tune, trying something new, right? Doing something different. And let's see what else we need to know here. Eagle. You will soar towards your destiny with greater clarity and strength. Well, exactly. I mean, Emperor energy is very strong, right? We want to move forward with conviction. We want to believe in ourselves. The Emperor does not doubt. This is my point about manifestation. There's no doubt in this energy. We're going to make moves. We're going to see where it takes us. How do we know it's not going to be the best thing that ever happened to us? It's a vibe of conviction, right? Okay, let's get into the cards and see what we need to know. We're using the Chakra Wisdom Tarot as always because it has all the different colors of the chakras or energy centers in the body. So let's start off with the root chakra, which is our base. This is our Mars energy, our drive, our foundation. And right now we got the King of Wands. Again, the Aries energy, I mean, Aries, Leo, Sag, it's fire. But right now we're feeling the fire in our pants. I mean, no pun intended, passion in the pants. I mean, that can be romantic or it can be motivation. Let me know which one is the one for you, or both. But essentially, King of Wands is about nurturing the energy, moving forward with that conviction, that passion, creativity. It can be about purpose, but you know what I've been saying lately to you? Don't worry so much about your purpose. Do things that make you feel purposeful. Like, what do you bring to other people that motivates them, that inspires them? It could even be inspired leadership, where you want to model the behavior to others around you to help that energy spread, right? Now, let's take a look at the oracle cards to see what we need to know about this King of Wands. There we go. See, there's the fire. Excitement, passion, dynamite. Dynamite. Yep. Energetic. Catalyst for change. And this is another fire energy because it's got Leo here. Now we have a Leo full moon coming up very soon. And we're doing the full moon Zoom this Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you'd like to join, the cost is $22. It's a 2-hour general collective reading live on Zoom. And then you get a mini moon reading sent to you by the next new moon, to follow up with the energies. But number 5 here means big changes ahead. So we're getting ready for change. Change is here. It's funny. I do this for a living. I don't know why I'm so surprised every time I see repeating messages come out. It's amazing when you think of the energy that cards bring to us, expect the unexpected, the element of fire. All 3 cards here in our base and our root chakra are telling us we have a fire under our rear. And that's a good thing. We need that motivation. I know it can be daunting. It can be a little scary, but listen, don't look at it as fear. Look at it as excitement. See where it takes you. Okay, let's take a look at Venus, which is the sacral chakra, self-worth, self-value, self-respect. As I said, Venus just moved into Aries. Oh, I love it. Okay, so Venus and Aries, right? There's the Fool. This is a brand new beginning, right? I know that this is not necessarily an Aries card, but I always think of it in relation to Aries because astrologically, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the baby. It's the innocence. It's, I'm going to embark on something new, wide-eyed. So again, it's not that it's necessarily an Aries card, but in my mind, it holds very similar energy. We're going to trust. We're going to take a leap of faith. I did talk about this in my Fool video on YouTube. Very interesting. And it's also a red card, which is foundation, right? So we've got definite fiery energy here. Now, also, the Fool from a planetary perspective is Uranus, okay? And Uranus is expect the unexpected. So we're getting real strong links here to Aries energy, Uranus. There is an aspect actually astrologically coming up that is very much this, and I believe it's between Mercury. I think it's Mercury and Uranus. And it is intense, meaning you might get some unexpected communication. You might get something coming to light. I don't think it's necessarily anything bad, but I think it's going to be one of those things where you're like, oh my goodness. You may not even have words. You may not even know what to do with it. Okay. But there's a very strong, strong energy there. And not that I want to make any jokes, but I mean, I'll pronounce it Uranus, but you've got fire, you've got a fire in your rear, right? That's what we were saying earlier. So you can definitely feel this repeating message. Be careful that you're not crying over spilled milk. Okay, now we have another number 5 here. So 5-5, big changes ahead. That can indicate even tower moments that are forcing you to make a change. And here's the thing. There's 2 ways you can look at a tower moment. You can be in victim mode, which is what this card is, victim mentality that says, I'm going to cry over spilled milk. I'm going to say, why? Why is this happening to me? Whereas this energy is saying, okay, it's happening for me. There's always a little bit of this and a bit of that, right? So understand that if you're in the victim mode or you're in the crying over spilled milk, you're going to stay in an energy that holds you back. I mean, feel it. I'm not saying don't feel it if you do, but you can't feel it forever. You can't let that linger. You can't let that control you. You can't let it hold you back. Let's see what this card says. The raccoon. See, this is the thing. The raccoon is about being creative and about being a problem solver. This is asking you, which energy are you in? Are you going to be creative? Have that spark, those creative juices flowing, so to speak, or the victim mentality of crying over spilled milk? Okay, let's take a look, excuse me, at the solar plexus. It's funny, I can feel my throat, excuse me, starting to act up a little bit. And remember what I was saying earlier about the information that's going to come to light or something that's going to shock you. It almost feels like it's brewing. You can feel it coming. You just don't know what it is, right? Now, as I was talking, look what came out. The 5 of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold. And here's the thing. See, look, 555, big changes ahead, and tower moments. This is a persistent energy that is poking through. There is this desire to make moves and to be creative and to make changes, but it's almost like somebody is really fighting the shift. Every time they're about to do something, every time they want to make a change or they're willing to put themselves out there, there's this energy that creeps in and says, why me? This card also is about negative thoughts. It's about drawing attention to your weaknesses. It's not just crying over spilled milk or feeling left out in the cold. It can be negative thinking, drawing attention to weaknesses. Well, I can't do this. Nothing ever works out for me. And again, I keep referencing these videos that I'm making for YouTube about self-development or tarot for self-development. But if you're in the magician energy, which is manifestation and communication and creation, creativity, right? I mean, you're the individual, you're responsible for your own creativity. You're the one responsible for your own manifestations. If your headspace is going somewhere that is negative and drawing attention to your weaknesses and telling yourself that you can't have something, you're ultimately going to manifest those things that you don't want. And I always remind people this: if you're saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I'm confused, I'm confused, I'm confused, you're going to manifest more of that energy. And then you're going to wonder why. It's because you have to change your mindset. You've got to put yourself out there in order to change what you know. It takes what, approximately, I think, 21 days to make a new habit. I'll give you an example. I know this is going to sound really stupid, but you know that my cat Jimmy has been wearing a cone. He hasn't been well, for the last month, and I've been sleeping on my sofa, no joke, for over 3 weeks. Okay, like I said, almost a month at this point, I feel like, and that has become a new habit for me. It's to the point where I almost feel like that's my bed, and it's not my bed. I can assure you that I miss my king size bed upstairs more than anything. I've just been making sure that he's okay, in this situation, like a good mom would do, But at the same time, it's become a new normal for me, and so I've got to now shift right into a different kind of energy where I'm going back to my bed. Now, again, I know this isn't life changing, but my point is that it becomes normal after a certain amount of time. So if you're expecting things to change overnight, they're not going to change overnight. You have to consciously make the effort. You've got to tough it out, in order to have something new feel normal. So let's see. The solar plexus, by the way, this position is about your personal power. Right now, somebody's feeling a bit powerless, but it's the fire being lit under the rear that's really sparking something here. That's almost forcing the change, or the tower moment is forcing the change. And there's the handcuffs. I mean, you can look at the handcuffs. I mean, Venus and Aries, this would not surprise me as a link. But at the same time, handcuffs can have two different sides to them, right? Or three, if you want to go spicy. But really, this is about, do you feel held back and restricted? And I'm assuming if somebody's feeling left out in the cold or negative thinking, yeah, they're feeling, like they're trying to control things, or they're being held back, they're suppressed. But at the same time, it can also be the energy of breaking free, unlocking yourself, right? The need to break free. So we don't want you feeling powerless, right? We want you feeling powerful. And let's see what else you need to know here. There's the key. See, look, there's the key to unlock the handcuffs. Number 33. How many of you have been seeing number 33? I've heard this a lot. Actually, now that I look up at that eco card, number 9, I've been seeing a lot of nines, 99999. It means like you're on the brink of major change, right? You're almost there. Now, the key is about a solution, right? Insight, clarity, unlock. It's coming. It's coming. Okay, let's look at matters of the heart. We love looking at the heart chakra. What's going on in the heart? Two of Coins. The Two of Coins is about, yes, deciding to have balance. It's about simplifying your life, is what I always say. It's understanding that when you have too many things going on, the important things get lost. And what I mean by that is what I call the umbrella effect. Oftentimes people will have really valid reasons for something, okay? Like really valid reasons. I'm working a lot, I'm tired, I'm stressed about money, stressed about where I'm living, what I'm doing. You could name a million things, okay? But underneath those valid reasons are the real things that need to be addressed. You know, when somebody starts going, I've got this, and this, get off my back. Like, can't you see that I'm trying? Those are all valid reasons. Nobody can debate them. That's why people say this. That's why they say it. Get off my back. Can't you see that I'm trying? And I appreciate when people are trying. I'm not saying that it's not good enough. My point is, though, is that after a while, it almost becomes, I don't want to say an excuse, but there's an underlying list of things that are probably more important. And I'm not dismissing the fact that people might struggle financially or with work or whatever, but how is anything going to change unless you're not really addressing the internal side of things, like the root of the issue? You know, I mean, think about short-term gain, long-term pain. Oftentimes, the things that are at the top, like of the umbrella, you know, those are like things that we're looking for, like short-term fixes, but they only work for a short time until we're stuck with more pain, which is really the root, which is underneath all of those things that are in the umbrella, if that makes any sense. So that's why I think some of you, let me know in the comments if you feel comfortable, but I feel like some of you may not actually be addressing what the real issue is. You might be using things that are easy to justify in order to not address the things that needed to be addressed. And with that, see the broken vase. Another number 5. Hardship, misfortune, trial, crisis, grief. And like, I just want to point out what it says on here. It says fix it. Isn't it interesting that I just went into I haven't talked about the umbrella effect for a while. You've got to find a way to fix it. And you're not going to fix these things overnight, by the way. This is my point. It's not like we can take the list of things that are wrong and just suddenly like check a box and say, yep, done. It doesn't happen that way. But pick what's at the top of your priority list. That's why I always say, like, what's at the top of your list that you need to address? Go down that list slowly but surely. Eventually, you'll make it through. But see how we're getting a lot of 5s. And it could very well be that somebody feels broken. They just feel broken. But I want to remind you, you don't have to stay broken forever. You know, I always think of the heart, since we're talking about the heart chakra, as like, of course, a muscle. And what do you think you're doing when you're working out or you're lifting weights at the gym? You are essentially working your muscles, tearing them so that they grow back stronger and better and bigger. And it's the same thing with your heart. Even if you have a broken heart, understand that that heart can be repaired. It can grow bigger and stronger and better, but it requires, right, the work. Now let's see what else we need to know here. The Milky Way. Oh, there's my throat. Now the Milky Way is a card of social media and feeling connected. You know, sorry for the sigh, but it almost feels like there's a connection that you have online with someone that is kind of the cause of this difficulty or this complication. It could also indicate that somebody will reach out to you on social media unexpectedly, right? Expect the unexpected. Keep in mind that also when Venus goes retrograde now, so here's the other side to this Venus and Aries. Okay, so Venus and Aries right now, right, February 4th, but I believe in March, Venus is going to go retrograde. And so that happens every couple of years. And when Venus goes retrograde, that's actually more so the time, more so than Mercury retrograde, when people do pop up from the past. So be aware of that. There's a lot of testing that's happening. And I think some people are already feeling this, you know, where maybe there's a bit of this old energy creeping in, or people contacting or reconnecting or attempting to do so. Let's take a look at the throat chakra. Now I'm really curious. What do we need to know about the communication? 3 of Wands, see, sitting on the sidelines. It's almost like it's never the right time. It's never the right time to communicate. Something might be holding it back. Let's see what else we need to know. The Castle. Someone's got a lot of pride. And pride is not necessarily a bad thing, but pride in this case, or ego, It's fear. Somebody's got a fear of communicating. And, I'll say this again. I know I repeat this often, but let's just address it for a moment. As I mentioned, we're going to have a full moon in Leo. Leos have this way of inciting communication. And what I mean by that is, they can often say things for shock value or have a bit of verbal diarrhea just to get a reaction. And so that's why I'm saying with this full moon in Leo coming up, you're either going to see somebody popping off or saying something where you're like, oh my goodness, like where did that come from? Or whoa, that's really brash, or very blunt. On top of that, the Leo energy can also beat around the bush. And it depends on the Leo. I've seen it on both sides. I've even seen elements of both where they think they've communicated. They've said everything but, you know what I mean? They've talked around it. They've tried to say it without really saying it because of fear. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's the shock and awe, coming out of nowhere. So that's why this is interesting. I feel like this is a lot of that full moon energy, that Leo energy, that fire. I mean, there you go. See, look, the snake. The snake can be deception, yes, but I think actually what this can be is counterproductive energy, where like you think you're doing something, but you're not. You're sitting on the sidelines. You think you're making a move, but you're kind of not making the move, and that's why expect the unexpected. That's why that fire's got to come in and light something. I mean, this is a card of wands. This is a card of fire. It's just somebody needs that extra push in order to communicate something. you know Somebody could be silent. I'm not saying, I mean, maybe somebody's giving you the silent treatment or you're the one giving the silent treatment, but essentially I think there's this, I know this is going to sound contradictory because there's two sides to this again, and that is, look, somebody may be in fear of communicating. That's one thing. That's one form of silence. On a side note, for my advice to all of you during this full moon in Leo, it would be observe more than you speak. Listen more than you speak. If you get out of control, popping off, saying stuff that you shouldn't be, you might be in deeper water than you intended. It may cause things that you really didn't want. So again, so many energies that are coming out of this time right now, so many astrological aspects that are playing a part. That's why there's not one real clear-cut vibe. It really depends on your situation. Let's take a look at the third eye, which is intuition. There you go. There's the coloring, right? King of Coins. It's a slow process. You have to take things slowly, even though that is super frustrating. I mean, the King of Coins is the slowest moving king in the deck. At the bottom here, the King of Wands, I mean, you've got a very fast moving king, right? This is purpose. This is passion. Here, with regards to your intuition, this is something that's slow. Foundation, you want to start building that foundation. You want to do that with purpose and with creativity and that passion. But when you're regulating all of this, when you're taking it all in, you have to take it in slowly. The rewards of it or the obstacles of it, the information of it all, the processing of it all. You can't possibly keep up in all aspects. There's going to be times when you're going to have to trust the process. You're going to have to move slowly. You're going to have to evaluate your intuition. And it's hard because a lot of people doubt their intuition and confuse it with anxiety. See, there we go. We talked about playing chess, not checkers. This is very slow energy. It's strategic energy. The Emperor, by the way, if I didn't say it earlier, is the King of Kings. He embodies all the energies, all the kings, right? The King of Coins, the King of Wands, the King of Cups, the King of Swords. He's got the passion. He's got the intellect. He's got the emotion. He's got the groundedness or the material possessions. He's got it all, right? He really has it all. So the issue I think that's important to look at here is that this is your most abundant in the long run. Okay, that's why he's slow, but he's also strategic. So we're here to make power moves. We're not here to play around. Again, we're here to play chess, not checkers. We want mature energy. The Hermit energy here is all about searching your soul, clearly deciding what you want. I mean, we're getting that strong earth energy. Also, double Virgo energy. You know, I mean, triple actually in a way, because King of Coins is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But having this Virgo energy means being analytical. It means searching your soul. It's assessing the options or the moves that you're going to make, right? Now, you can't be worried about those moves for too long. At a certain point, you're going to have to make a decision and just make that move. I have a feeling that there's going to be this sort of initial, or actually, I should have just said ignition, but this initial like fire that pushes you. And then there's going to be a point where you're going to have to evaluate where you're at, right? Do you need to change your tune and take yourself to the next level again? It's always about ascension. And let's take a look at the crown chakra. So the downloads, the white light coming through. Oh, it's almost like it's coming from the heavens, right? The Ace of Cups. The bottom line here is filling your own cup. Are you filling your own cup? Are you putting yourself first? This is a brand new emotional beginning. That can be the early stages of love as well. It starts with self-love. And by the way, I see this at the bottom of the deck. Harvesting, abundance, fertility, enjoying the fruits of your labor. You know what? The checkered flag is telling you that you're ending an old cycle. You're signaling the end of the old, and you're starting something new emotionally that's more fulfilling, challenging the status quo. Change your tune. You want different, you got to do different, right? Wow. Okay. Eagle. I just realized. Double eagle messages. Oh, 9, 9, 19. We talked about nines though. 1 plus 9 is a 10. 1, brand new beginnings. Ace, number 1. Wow. Let's take a power of surrender card here just to see what we need to surrender or surrender to. Surrender the worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body, focus on the power of your heart, and have faith that spirit is guiding you always. 100%. One more. Surrender negative thinking. That's exactly what I said to you about that 5 of coins right here. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. Wonderful. I really hope this resonates with you. As always, thank you for your kindness and support. I really appreciate a like, a comment, a subscribe. It really helps the algorithm and for people to find my videos. Thank you very much, and I wish you an amazing day.